Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Oh boy. Controversial Shannon. Wow. All right. Shout out to all of you that could deal with it. And y'all heard y'all heard what the brother had to say. So we're covering about the first 20 or so minutes of his stream. That's about as far as I got. I will be listening to the rest of it. I just have to keep on, you know, I couldn't make it a regular stream, so I'm at work and I have to keep on pausing and writing down note. Okay, point there, point there, right? So I only got 20 minutes in. Yeah, and it's a crap show. Oh, it's a crap show, right? And Jake says, "What's going on, Jake?" And Jake Zero says, "I've listened to CS lives before. He tries to make valid points while also pandering. Not a great plan, bruh." Right? Vic says, dude's forehead to do-rag ratio looks hella zesty, hysterical. Vic also says he got 13 minutes of my time and not a second more, hysterical, right? Lion says, you know that hairline is bad. Actually, brother, the Bizarro Terrence Jade doesn't have a bad hairline, not necessarily. And that's so I was like, dude looks like, who does he look like? Terrence J. Yes, Terrence J from 106 in Park. The second iteration of 106 in Park. He looks like a bizarro version of Terrence J. I was like, wait a minute. The dude looks, and there we go. And yeah, and Lion says, you know that hairline is bad when the do-rag starts down near the top of your forehead, shaking my head. Hysterical, right? Samuel says his hairline is on color people time. Hysterical, right? So we're not gonna make too much at least I wanted to say had hominem, excuse me, ad hominem attacks, right? We're not gonna make too much ad hominem attacks. We're gonna get right to it. Look, I want to say this. I'm gonna say this throughout the stream. But I definitely want to stress this. First, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Secondly, and I'm gonna be speaking directly to controversial Shannon, aka Bizarro Terrence J. Um, Brother, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I said to FD Signifier. I'm gonna tell you the same thing. And yes, I did watch the whoever sent me and I think better you sent it to me, the conversation that had pearly things on it, the back and forth. I'm gonna cover that in a couple days. Give me some time. Um let's I'm mm, I'm gonna continue to say this, and I'm gonna say this often on this stream. And I've said this before. To all men and women, namely black men and black women, whether you're conservative, liberal, progressive, whether you're black man or black woman, whether you're straight or some type of LGBTQ, if you are pandering to black women, if you are chastising, insulting, demeaning, making fun of black men, and quote unquote defense of black women, if you are pandering to black women in any kind of way, none of it means anything if you can't get black women married off. Huh? None of it means anything if you can't get black women to end up with some type of black man, white man, Latino man. I'm not even going to mention Asian men because it's not a thing. So if you are in the business of air quotes defending black women from what you see as character assassination and insults coming from black men, namely black men in the black manosphere, if you are in the business of, once again, quote unquote, defending black women and their honor, it means nothing if you can't get some type of man to protect, provide, and shut up for black women. Huh? So to controversial Shannon, I know you weren't really speaking to black men. You were doing your best rendition of, and this is why my title is my title, Derek Jackson. This is your failed attempt at Derek Jackson. You see a vacuum there, especially after Derek Jackson got exposed, and you're doing your best rendition, right? You're hustling their emotions. You're an emotional dope dealer. Huh? Wow. You're an emotional dope dealer. And it means nothing. Once again. Oh, by the way, just in case you come across this, I will be tagging you, by the way. According to the Black Enterprise Institute, who got their numbers from the St. Louis Federal Reserve, all of my subscribers, I guess I got to put this in the description box, who, once again, Black Enterprise Institute, they didn't pull the number out of their rear end. Single Black and single Latina women have the least amount of wealth in America. And just in case you think, oh, that's because y'all leaving them with the kids. Haha. Single Black, childless Black women, single childless Black women have the least amount of wealth in America. But well, what about Black men? Black men don't see any significant benefit of getting married. Ooh, goddamn. There's no benefit. In other words, when Black men get married to Black women, writ large, Black women act as vampires. Well, will you look at that? Uh-oh. That's why Black men aren't doing partnership, by the way. Huh? Okay. So, to Mr. Controversial Shannon, I would say you're coming off a bit too try hard. It's a bit corny. It's coming off a bit fake, right? Now, of course, the women don't care. They just want to see some type of man regurgitating their views, their feelings, and their thoughts. Huh, there's a pun in there. Their thoughts about Black men. And I'm pretty sure if you open up your super chat, they'll start paying you and they'll start donating, talking about that. Like, share, subscribe to the super chat. They're going to start, funding you. If you get in the gym, you get some bass in your voice, they're really going to start funding you because you're doing their bidding. Shout out to you, right? Shout out to you, right? And so I seen the tag on your channel, right? Exposing the BS in my community. When it looks like you exposing the BS in your community is just, once again, shout out to Lion, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, shout out to BGS, sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and a need to be right, straight Black men to death for Black women, right? Huh. So, once again, coming off a little too try hard, inauthentic, a bit fake. Inauthentic and a bit fake. Just a smidge, just a teeny tiny bit, a lot. Huh? All right, let's get into it. Mr. Shannon starts this off. You, Black men, you have to be a literal demon to go against your own group of women. So we started off calling Black men, namely Black men in the Black manosphere, demons. You will see this throughout about the first 20 minutes. He has one foot in, like some type of Judeo-Christian concept of manhood, while also being pretty damn secular. Huh. Welcome to the Black community, right? So, once again, Mr. Shannon calling Black men demons, right? You have to, he says, You have to be a literal demon to go against your own women, your own group of women. And to Mr. Shannon, I say, sir, these women have repeatedly expressed that they are not possessed by anyone. If anyone, if anyone actually possesses these women, it's white men. It's not black men. Black men don't run nothing over here. Remember, these are the same black women. So when you say your women, black women have already expressed they belong to no one. Did you not watch the video with? Oh, he didn't. Of course he didn't. The video of Kevin Samuels speaking to who was that? A therapist? The black woman who she struggled. She couldn't say that. Once again, she said white women belong to white men. Latinas belong to Latinos. But when it came to black men, black women belonging to black men, absolutely not. She couldn't get it out. And this is a lettered black woman, a professional black woman. This is not no hood ass, barely could string two words together black woman. Uh-oh. Right? And this is what I was saying. And Lion says, don't forget about the study showing that marriage doesn't increase life expectancy for black people. And there you go. Right? Mr. Shannon goes on to say, right, he hopes that black men and black women mark these type of men, so men like Z, as the enemy of the black community. Once again, Mr. Shannon says he hopes the black community marks black, pretty much black manosphere type men as the enemy of the black community. They already have, it doesn't matter. 25% of newlywed black men are marrying out, and that was as of 2017. What's that number going to be like in the next 6 years by 2030? Huh? Yuck. Dear Mr. Bizarro Terrence J. Mr. Shannon, it doesn't matter. Black men have a higher marriage rate and a higher interracial marriage rate than black women. Black women have a low ass marriage rate and a high ass divorce rate. It doesn't matter. It's that simple. Uh-oh. And by the way, the majority of black men don't know anything about a black manosphere. They don't have to. They see the way black women speak about them. They hear the way black women speak about them. They have thoughts and feelings about it, and they tell black women to read their Nikes. Right? I saw when he said that at Vix's. He said saying delete black boys is the same as throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So I guess I'll just make this point now because I have it in my notes to make. If you caught what he had to reel himself back. I said black, huh? Oof. Z. See? Freudian slip there. He had to reel himself back because he was getting real close. He agrees with Cynthia G there. I said it. He agrees with Cynthia G. He mentioned her name. So going to what you said, Vic, that's why close to the 20-minute mark, around 19 minutes, 30 seconds, some odd like that. He said, hey, then don't say anything about black women, you know, baby deleting, yeeting unborn black fetuses. Huh? If you think they're all that bad, then don't say anything about it. He said it. Huh? You gotta love it. Remember, this is a person that had one foot in kind of Judeo-Christian concepts of morality and humanity while also talking about, hey, don't say nothing when these women delete these unborn black babies because you da. Huh? Once again, Mr. Shannon says, hope men and women, black men and black women, mark these men, such as Z, as the enemy of the community. And I say, they already have, and it means nothing because young black men are interacting, are not interacting with insufferable young black women. You could say whatever you want to say, Mr. Shannon. This is, once again, this is the theme of my channel tonight. The theme of this video is whether it's FD, whether it's Kim Foster, it doesn't matter. Whether it's controversial Shannon, whether it's Ebony K. Williams, whether it's Amanda Seals, whether it's Chrissy, whether it's Real Talk with Yanni, whether it's Lexus Exodus, I could go on forever. It doesn't matter who they are, how radical they are, whether they're speaking about colorism, whether they're speaking about Cynthia G, whether they're speaking about unaliving unborn black male fetuses. None of it matters if you can't get black women married off. Once again, single black childless women, single childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. Their equivalent of black men has nearly 3 times the wealth. Right? So to Mr. Shannon, Mr. Controversial Shannon, none of this means anything. Nice attempt at pandering to black women. Your nice attempt at your Derek Jackson, it means nothing. Fine, you are giving them something to hold on to. Huh? Right? You're pandering to them. Cool. Look, it's a black man that thinks it feels the same thing about other black men that I think it feel. Makes me feel better. Now I won't go to sleep tonight's crying myself to sleep. That's great, sir. Once again, single childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. No, it is not the same for single childless black men. Huh? Mr. Shannon goes on to say, black men in the black manosphere are leading young black men astray. Leading young black men astray. Mr. Shannon, most young black men know nothing of the black manosphere. They watching their mamas. Ooh, goddamn. They're watching their girl cousins and their sisters and their aunts and their grandmothers. They're listening to the little girls in elementary school, middle school, high school, the young women in college. Most young black men know nothing of the black manosphere. They're not leaving black women because of the black manosphere. They're leaving black women because of black women. Huh? They come to the black manosphere because of black women. We're not recruiting. We don't have flyers up. We don't have advertisement all over social media. This is not AA meetings. Although that would actually not be a bad thing. Huh? Leading black men, young black men astray. No. These young black men are having real experiences with young black women. And they say, you know what, I'm not going to be my dad. I'm not going to be my uncle. Oh, absolutely not. Right? Vegas Dev says, my youngest cousin vowed to never mess with black women 15 years ago. He's never heard of the black manosphere. Y'all should see Mr. Z's face right now. Huh? Never heard of the black 15 years ago. That's like pretty much, was that like right when Black Manosphere 2.0 was pretty much getting it? It wasn't even a thing like that yet. No, yeah, 15 years ago, nope. That's still Black Manosphere 1.0, and we didn't even call it that back then. That's not even 2.0. 15 years ago. So we talk about 2009. Huh? So the Black Manosphere is leading young black men astray into FD signifier because a lot of people think this. A lot of people believe this. Conservative, liberal, straight, gay, black man, black woman, a lot of them think this. Whether they're on some Chrissy type thing or whether they're on some Kim Foster type thing or some FD signifier or right, foreign man in a foreign land consciously, and a lot of them think this. No, your young black men come over here seeking answers because your answers are inadequate. Your pandering ass answers, your kiss black women's ass answers, your don't believe your lying eyes black well, the your don't believe your lying eyes answers. There we go, Z. It's not good enough. Your protect, provide, and shut up in relationship to black women ass answers, it's not good enough. Hysterical, LXST. I ain't even gonna read it out loud. Hysterical. We're not leading black men astray, young black men astray. They're listening to the black manosphere because they've been hearing men like you speak for decades and they're over it. Huh? Wow. Young black men come over here seeking answers because men like you tell them to ignore black women's misbehavior. Uh, and at best, black women misbehave because somewhere, somehow, black men are inadequate. Huh? Leading young black men astray. Leading young black men. You think the black manosphere is leading young black men astray? Sir, you're going to have to do way better than that to do something about that 25% of newlywed black men that are marrying outside the race. Out of marry, first of all, black men and men in general aren't marrying like that anymore. And you're saying out of those men who are getting married, 25%, and once again, that's only the married. That's not even the men that swore off black women but have relationship and children with non-black women. We're only talking about the married black women right now. Excuse me, the married black men right now. 25%. Huh? That's not because the black manosphere is leading these young black men astray. That's because these young black men have sworn off, oftentimes, black women because of black women's behavior, because of how black women speak. Huh? Because of the gynocracy y'all got going on and operating in the black community. These black men said, I will be damned if I swear fealty to the gynocracy. Absolutely not. Huh? So Mr. Shannon, once again, Bizarro Terrence J, you can tell he's a Cynthia G supporter while claiming some sense of morality. And to Mr. Bizarro Terrence J, I say Cynthia G was taken off of YouTube because she advocated for deleting unborn black babies as punishment to your everyday black man who didn't build Wakanda for black women, who didn't put black women in a position to challenge rich white women. Pretty much because black men and white men, but because black men did not make the masses of black women upper middle class and above white women politically and socially. Black women's punishment to black men is to unalive black male babies. Because it wasn't good enough not to have sex with black men. You got to make a statement. So you have sex with them, you get pregnant, and you find out it's a boy, and then you unalive it, right? Wow. So this was the punishment mechanism. Now, once again, this is a black man, Mr. Shannon, who called black men demons. But yet he brings up Cynthia G's name when Cynthia G was literally advocating for eugenics, genocide, and ethnic cleansing on her channel. She was advocating for ethnic cleansing on her channel. The ethnic cleansing of black men. Genocide of black men. Eugenics practice on black males. Right? And exactly, an international wrote in, and who took her off? A white woman. A white woman took her off of YouTube. Because men like you, with your 1 foot in Christianity and your 1 foot in secularism, and a very ugly form of secularism, by the way, men like you either turned a blind eye to Cynthia G or actually agreed with her, and it's looking like you agree with her. Huh? The black men that engage in hyperbolic language about black women aren't advocating for deleting black girls and harming black women. At most, they're advocating for black men to leave black women alone, leave black women to their own devices, leave black women to the mythical, magical white man. Because whether you realize it or not, Mr. Bizarro Terrence J, Mr. Shannon, whether you believe it or not, we know what country we live in. If black women want so much for black men to either kiss their ass or get gone, then black men will get gone and leave black women to their devices. Have fun with those white men. I know what country I live in. Apparently, black women don't know what country they live in. Black men are that horrible? All right, then. Huh? Have fun with the rose toy, have fun with the same-sex loving relationships, and have fun with, well, the non-black man. Let me know how it worked for you. Right? So going to what some of y'all were saying in the comments just now, yes, Bizarro Terrence J does come off somewhat sassy, somewhat petty. Y'all know Mr. Z don't really throw that around, so I did see it. I get it. Once again, trying to fill the power vacuum, doing his best rendition of Derek Jackson. I get it. I see him. Right. I just want to make sure and acknowledge. Yes, I see it. Right. His best rendition of Derek Jackson. He don't got the voice. He don't got the look. He don't. You know. I get it. Let's see if it work. Right. But as I said, once again, the theme of this video, none of this means anything if you can't get black women married off. Single black women have the least amount of wealth in America. Single childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. Mr. Shannon, None of what you're doing means anything if you can't get some man to subsidize black women, whether that's a white man, Latino man, black man. I'm not going to mention Asians, it's not a real thing. Huh? So, to all of you that claim to be defending black women from black men, defending black women from black men like Mr. Z and all the misogyny and the sexism and all of that means nothing if you can't get a significant amount of black women married off and have some man subsidize them. All you're doing is pandering, right? Young black men's action speaks volumes. It speaks for itself, right? So Mr. Shannon says something like he doesn't even know how to stop this. Of course you don't know how to stop this. And that young men aren't sounding like this. What? He's saying it's the older men. It's older men in their 40s and up, 40s, 50s, and 60s. First, when you say young men aren't sounding like this, you're right. This is where me and you agree. I've actually said this. This is really a older millennial, Gen X, some boomers talk. You're right. Young men aren't sounding like this. You want to know why? Uh-oh. You want to check that interracial marriage rate for newlyweds for black men? Huh? You're right. Young millennials and Gen Z, the ones that are marriageable age, you're right. They don't sound like this. You're absolutely right. The young black men don't sound like this. You want to know why? Uh-oh. They're already dating and marrying out. Oops. Huh? The ones that can't afford it are already doing SYSBM and Passport Bros. Anybody want to say Austin Hollerman? Uh-oh. Whoopsie. You're me and you and actually are in agreement with this. We are in actual agreement. Huh? You're right. Young black men don't sound like this because they're dating out. Huh? Once again, 25% newlyweds, black men married out, and that was as of 2017 numbers. Wait until we see them 2030 numbers. Huh? As I said before, dear Mr. Bizarro Terrence J, none of this means anything if you can't get black women married off. Whether it's FD signifier, trying to turn down the temperature and chastise black men, whether it's foreign men in a foreign land calling black men, particularly in the black manosphere, nig cells, whether it's Kim Foster calling black men useless, whether it's Themis telling FD signifier to raise these black boys to protect black women, none of this means anything if you can't get black women married off. Once again, whether it's white men, black men, Latino men, it's not Asian men, stop it. Huh? And of course, as you said, you don't know how to stop this because your only answer, and all of you's only answer, is to keep on doubling and tripling and quadrupling and quintupling down on the BS. What's the BS, Z? Chastising black men, belittling black men, insulting black men, pandering to black women. Of course, you don't know how to stop this. Y'all only got one answer: shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right, sign language. Of course, you don't know how to stop this. Huh? Meanwhile, your daughters are crying in their cars. Black women, white women, namely black women, complaining, crying in their cars. Black men are not showing up to mixers and speed dating. Black men are not asking them out in clubs. Who killed the club scene? Women did. Huh? He said he don't know how to stop this. Of course you don't. What are you going to tell a 23-year-old black man who just graduated with his undergrad? What are you going to tell him? What are you going to tell him when he's 26 years old and now he has his master's degree? What you going to tell him? What you going to tell him when he's 30 years old and now he graduated from law school? What you going to tell him? If he doesn't already have a black girlfriend, if he doesn't already have a black wife, what are you going to tell him? Of course you don't have any answers. Huh? What are you going to tell him? When it's the Latina that's cracking a smile, when it's the white girl that's helping him study, what are you going to tell him? You're right, you don't have any answers. You don't have any answers. That's why they popping up at the family event holding the Latina saying, oops. Huh? Black women and black men don't have any answers to get black men to stay with insufferable black women. Y'all right. Y'all don't got no answers. You right. Huh? I don't know how to stop this. Yeah, we know. You don't know how to stop it because you refuse to think about this different. What about if they actually had a point? Huh? Who would have thunk it? And Detroit says, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Detroit says, who leading to the straight? What? Who's leading these young men astray? Last time I checked, when black boys were put in non-black families for up for adoption, they end up getting better results than black single mothers majority in BC. Look, you know what's crazy about what you're saying? I'm thinking about Marshall. What is his last name? He's the host of the Realignment, and Marshall is real heady when it comes to the politics. He's really good. He's really good. He's interviewing. I think he works for some other publication or something like that. And the first time I saw him, I was like, "Ain't no." I knew he wasn't raised by a black family, and it was scary, and I felt so bad thinking it. I knew it in my pause in my bones. I knew it. I knew it. Come to find out, he was adopted by Jewish folks. Of course, of course, I knew it. Married to a white woman, and there you go. Successful. Actually, I found out about him. Oh, y'all give me a second. And there we go. I'm sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. Mr. Z over here pressing things. Um, but yeah, I found out about him through Sagar and Jetty, who used to be on the Hill. Now him and Crystal Ball have their own thing, Breaking Points, right? So going to what you said, Detroit, yeah. Is that the outcome for all? Of course, it's not all, but uh-oh. Huh? It's the way black women see the world. It's the way black women see black men. It's the way black women see black children. It's black women throwing a goddamn temper tantrum because they're not white women and they do not get to perform as upper middle class white women politically and socially. So for them, to hell with rules and norms. Now, if you hear very intelligent and well-spoken women say it, like a Kim Foster, that's what she's saying. And then you see the Hood Sisters performing it. That's what the highlighter weave is about. Huh? That's what the septum ring is about. Huh? That's what all the tattoos are about. That's what one foot in patriarchy, one foot in feminism. One day I wake up, I want to be a bit more butch and more masculine, and the next day I want to be super feminine. That's what I want to do, whatever the hell I want, because it doesn't matter. I don't get to wake up as an upper middle class white woman, so I don't get the dividends of performing that way. So to hell with all of it. Isn't that what Bridget Kelly was saying in that conversation with the two brothers at that table, at that restaurant table? Isn't that what she was saying? BGS, if you still listening, isn't that what she was saying? We don't get the dividends the white women get. So to hell with all of it. Meanwhile, black men literally don't benefit from marriage and they're still performing. Well, will you look at that? Huh? Well, will you look at that? And once again, Detroit, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Huh? So over 20%, more like 25% of newlywed black men are marrying outside of the race. And that's not even counting any type of civil unions or situationships they have with non-black women. And Mr. Shannon says he don't know what to do about this. Of course you don't. The young men's actions are speaking for itself. It's speaking volumes. And it's telling young black women and just women writ large to read their Nikes. They're not signing up for the gynocracy. So tell black women to go get it from the white man or Latino. We're not going to even say Asian. It's not a thing. Right? Huh. So Mr. Shannon goes on to say he doesn't see black love being discussed on these panels. First of all, that's not true. Shout out to Obsidian. Huh? The black love machine. First of all, that's not true. Secondly, even if it was true, even if it was true, okay, fine, argument's sake, let's go there. The black women said they're not doing struggle love. Median household income, I didn't say for black people, median household income in America is between $75,000 to $80,000. So black women say they're not doing struggle love, so they're not doing love, which means they're not doing black love. I wonder how much black women believe that when I put a white man in front of them. Oops. Looks like they actually pay for white men, though. Black love. Black women said they're not doing black love, especially if black love doesn't look like them being subsidized. Huh? So to Mr. Shanna say, as much as some black men believe in black love, it's black women who said their love comes at a price. The women said no struggle love. The women said economically unattractive men are leading to a downturn in marriage. And the American Enterprise Institute backs that up. 26%, and this was as of 2017 also, so the numbers got worse. 26% of poor Americans are married. 39% of working class Americans are married. 56% of middle class and above Americans are married. When you say black love, who's the ones that don't want to be in love or practice love? Is it the men or the women? Huh? Huh. So Mr. Shannon's talking about black love. All these you don't even see these black men talking about black love. but the women said they don't want love. It doesn't come at a price. Their love comes at a price. They're not doing love. As a matter of fact, they mock it and call it struggle love. What are you talking about? See, this is how we know you're pandering. You either did not do your research, and I'm pretty sure you didn't do your research, because you don't have to, because you're pandering to black women. So you're just going to regurgitate what they already feel and think. Good job. Good job, Larry. Huh? Mr. Shannon, good job. You didn't do any research because you didn't have to, because you're pandering. You're trying to fill the vacuum that Derek Jackson left because he got exposed. Huh? So at the about 16-minute mark, Mr. Bizarro Terrence J says, there's nothing wrong with the dating market. You just don't qualify for what you're looking for. And he's directing that to black men, of course. So he's flipping Kevin Samuels' talking points upside down and then directing it to black men. Cool. Okay, fine. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. You are right. Mr. Shannon, you are right. There's nothing wrong with the dating market. You just don't qualify for what you want. And if we're going off of your line of logic, we're going off of your logic. Cool. Is that why black men are more married than black women? Uh-oh. Is that why black men are more interracially married than black women? Yikes. Is that why black women have the highest divorce rate? Because the dating market leads to marriage. Right? So if there's nothing wrong with the dating market, you just don't qualify for what you desire, what you want. Is that why we have all of those black women that called in the Kevin Samuels show when he was alive? Is that why we have all of those black women calling into Kendra G? Is that why we have all of those black women calling into what's the other one that Single by Choices covers? Your word, sir. Nothing wrong with the dating market. You just don't qualify for what you want. Now you were directing that to black men. But if that's the case, oh, fine. Okay, we won't even Mr. Z won't even turn that back around and direct that to black women. Black men don't qualify for what they want in the black community. Okay, fine. That's why 25% of newlywed black men are married outside the race. They don't qualify for these black women, these highfalutin, rich aunties. Huh? These black men don't qualify for them. They're not good enough for them. Black men said, okay, you know what? Mr. Shannon, you're right. I don't qualify for Keisha. Keisha's way out of my league. Y'all love seeing that clip on Pop the Balloon show where the brother was like, oh, you out of my league. Fine. Ashley Dalton. Thank you, KW Don. Black men don't qualify. That's why black women are calling into Ashley Dalton. They call into Kendra G. They used to call into Kevin Samuels. Cool. But even if Mr. Z doesn't turn it back around, black men said, young black men too, newlywed black men said, you know what, black women, you right. Ebony K. Williams, you right. I'm mediocre. You're right. Kim Foster, you're right. I'm useless. You're right. Huh? You're right. I'll just go date out. That dating out is turning into marriage. 25% of newlywed black men are married to a non-black woman. Well, there you go. Out of the black men that are getting married as of 2017, 25% of newlywed black men are married outside the race. Because you are right, Mr. Shannon. They don't qualify for these black women. You're right. Now what? Y'all never scale what y'all talking about. Y'all keep on poking fun and making fun of black men, and you never consider, actually, how could this bite me in the rear end? How can my argument be flipped on its head? How can this hurt black women? That's why I said it. Dear black men, start telling black women you can't afford them. Start telling black men, women to go get it from white men. Flip it on its head. Start telling black women, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you liked black white men. I thought you liked white men. I thought you were into Latino men. I'm sorry. I didn't. Ooh, I'm sorry. Huh? What's the LGBTQ brother out of Canada? That's it. If you tuck your hair behind your ears, white man. Start telling them sisters, hey, I thought you were into white men. I'm sorry. The black woman with the septum rings. You me? Oh, you find me attractive? Oh, I thought you were into white men. Why black men keep on telling me that? Because black women keep on telling us that they're above us. They're out of our league. I'm sorry. Black women keep on telling us, that we mediocre. When with K. Williams called black men mediocre, y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all agreed with her. Actually, sorry, huh? And I saw that clip what she was 5'1". Dude was what? Pop the Balloon Show, by the way. I'm referencing. Homegirl was what, 5'1". Dude was what, 6'1", 6 feet. She talking about his height when he said, "Yeah, I'm 6 feet." Oh well, I guess it's my heels. So Mr. Shannon said he had an issue with black men in the black manosphere continuing to show these delusional ass women and then say this is all black women. Black women marriage rate say it's all black women. God damn, Z. Uh-oh. Black women's marriage rate and divorce rate says it's all black women. Okay, Z. All right, Z. Be reasonable. It's not all black women. It's most black women. Huh? So you're right. Yeah. Y'all keep on showing these delusional black women, and then y'all review the delusional black women, and then y'all paint that on all black women. Listen, Mr. Shannon, we don't have to do that. Mr. Shannon, we don't have to do that. Black women have shown black men who they are, and young black men and newlywed black men are moving accordingly. Check that interracial marriage rate. Huh? Once again, the masses of black men don't watch things from the black manosphere. They're not listening to black men and the black men. They're definitely not listening to Z like that. Look at my subscriber base. Shout out to my subscribers. They don't have to. As I said before, nothing that y'all are saying means anything if you can't get some man to pay and subsidize black women. If you can get some type of man, white man, black man, Latino man, I'm not going to mention Asians, it's not a thing. If you can't get your daughters married off, it means nothing. Once again, single childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. It means nothing, right? So, as I said, going off of your logic, around the 16-minute mark, once again, there's nothing wrong with the dating market. You just don't qualify for what you're looking for. Remember, black men are more married and interracially married than black women. Huh? Going off of your logic, what does that say about black women? Going off of your logic, Mr. Shannon. Because fine, black men don't qualify for black women. What about all these other non-black men? Huh? Black women like to brag about how they're in white collar spaces more than black men. Cool. Where are the wedding rings? Where are all of the interracial marriage for black women to white men and Latino men? We're not going to mention Asian men. Once again, it's not a thing. Huh? Okay, fine. Mr. Z will be less antagonistic. Mr. Shannon, going off of your logic, how does this work for black women? Masses of black men, particularly black men in the black manosphere, masses of black men are not qualified. They're not on black women's level. Masses of them. The majority of black men are just horrible. The worst thing that ever happened to black women. Cool. How does that work for black women, though? Huh? The majority of black women don't have the funds to do what Ebony K. Williams did and do the in vitro and all this other stuff. The majority of them don't have it. Right? How does this work for black women? If the majority of black men are not on black women's level, how does this work for black women? Let's go through that. There's already 2 million more black women than black men. How does this work for black women? Let's go through that. Let's do the math. The majority of black men are not on black women's level, right? We're anchor on their ankles. We're holding them back. We're holding them down. And this type of rhetoric works for black women how? When you already have 25% of newlywed black men marrying out. And once again, that's only speaking about marriage. We're not even talking about the black men that are already out of the black community with a non-black woman that they've been with for 10 and 15 and whatever years. They just not married on paper. Huh? How is this supposed to work? So black women are stuck in the black community full of black manosphere listening to, which is not true, black manosphere listening to black men, right? And these black men do not qualify for the black women they want. Fine. And this works for black women how? Okay, fine. We telling black women, hey, a bunch of these black men don't qualify for you. They're not on your level. And this works for black women how? Huh? What are black women supposed to do with that? And I am waffles. That's what he said. He told black women to expand their options, right? Expand their options. I ain't even gonna read the rest of it. But yeah, the LGBTQ brother told black women to expand their options as if they already haven't. Black women have the lowest interracial marriage rate. That's not from a lack of trying. That's because of what white men and Latino men and Asian men and Middle Eastern men and et cetera, and indigenous men think about black women. It's called an anti-black society. Black women can miss me with the loyalty talk. Stop it. Right? And the Roger Report says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And the Roger Report says, oh snap, we don't qualify to spend our money to be with women we don't want to take out. Hysterical. Raj goes on to say, don't want to be in a relationship with and don't want to propose to. Oh my goodness. Whatever shall I do? Whatever shall we do? Raj, I don't know. We don't look, Raj. Now you don't have someone to spend your money on that's going to spin you into oblivion. Right? Raj, you don't have somebody to mess up your credit. Raj, you don't have somebody to subsidize. Raj, you don't have somebody to stress out and be and to have provider anxiety on or because of. You don't have somebody for Steve Harvey to tell you it's your job to take care of women and kids. Huh? You don't have somebody to take care of and then society turns around and tells you that's your job. You're looking for a thank you. That's what you're supposed to do. Huh? Raj, you are not subsidizing someone who's going to turn around and use a lack of sex as punishment. Huh? And then dare you to cheat on them too. Or explore your options outside of the marriage. Better yet, try to punish you with not having sex and then dare you to step out. Right? Wow. Russ said, whatever shall we do? Right? So the dude is super pandering, trying to fill the vacuum that Derek Jackson left because Derek Jackson got exposed. Right? Wow. So he goes on to say, right? Black men don't deserve a woman with a low body count. Oh yeah, he said. Oh, y'all keep on talking this body count stuff. Black men don't deserve a black woman with a low body count. Oh yeah, he said that, and that's why your young black men are marrying out. You're right. And once again, Raj, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. You're right. Black men are not deserving of a black woman with a low body count, so that's why they're marrying out. That's why you have a passport bros. Fine. The Latina in whatever country got two sexual partners under her belt. Fine. The Asian woman got two, three sexual partners under her belt. She don't got a dozen. Two, five, 100. Goddamn. Uh-oh. Y'all don't scale these things when y'all say them, huh? Y'all just pick at black men, make fun of them, mock them, and y'all never think, wait a minute. What happens if black men say, bet, read my Nikes? Huh? What happened if black men say, you know what? I got enough money to be a passport, bro. What happens if black men say, you know what? Pamela and Jergens lotion, video games, that'll save me a whole lot, right? And I'll just contract out when I do meet a woman that I find physically attractive, but I don't want to make her no mother of my children. I'll just, slide her a little $300 a month and we'll work something out. What happens when black men start doing that? Y'all don't scale these things. Y'all just make fun of and mock black men. And here we are. Black men don't deserve a black woman with a low body count. And black men said, bet. I'll pipe, won't have kids with her, and there you go. I'll date out, and there you go. I'll be passport bros, and there you go. I'll practice SYSBM, and there you go. It's a new normal, everyone. Your son's first of all, your son's interracial dating rate is astronomical. Over 9,000! It's astronomical. For black men, newlyweds, as of 2017, 25% are marrying out. Dear Mr. Shannon, as I said, if you cannot, remember this is the theme of tonight's video, if you cannot get some man to pay for black women, everything you're engaging in means nothing. It means nothing. Right? Black men through action are showing you what will be the consequence of giving them the middle finger. Dear black women, dear I wanted to say Dr. Shannon, Mr. Shannon. Huh? Black men said if you're gonna try to regulate them to black women with high body counts, then they'll just date out. They'll marry out. Huh? Now what? You're not scaling. They're really not doing the social math. There's talk. You know what it is? We're having an old ass conversation as if we're not in 2024. A few months away from 2025. These people are having a conversation somewhere in the not even 90s. I'll say 90s, but really what, the 70s and the 80s? The 60s? Y'all are not having a 2024 conversation, a 2024 conversation. These men are not stuck with black women. Black women are not stuck with black men. Now, we are attached by the hip, mainly because of outside forces. We are attached by the hip. Yes, we are. Politically and socially. Yes, we are. But intimate relationships? Oh, absolutely not. Huh? And y'all are not having a conversation as if black men and black women got choices. That's not the conversation y'all are having. Because the second you accept that black men have choices and black women don't got that many choices, ooh, Z, ooh. The second you accept the world looks at black men marrying out different than black women marrying out, check that interracial marriage rate. The second you're honest with yourself about black women not being on black men's program and what that means for black women in their marriage prospects. In other words, okay, fine, let's go with Paymaster or someone that's going to subsidize you. If black women are not performing, I said it, up to par, they can kiss their chances at middle class life and someone dying for them. I mean, literally working to death for them because that's what men do. You can kiss your chances of that goodbye. That life insurance, not coming to you. Children within wedlock, not happening. Someone to go check what's going bump in the night, not happening. Kill that roach, not happening. Put out that garbage, not happening. Mow that lawn, not happening. Paint this house, not happening. Clean out those gutters, giggity, not happening. I guess you'll be paying somebody to clean out the gutters. Ooh, pun intended. Yikes. Huh? And the Rod report says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Rod says, how much more expanding can they do? They've been expanding their options since 1865. Hysterical. Look, Raj, we already know this is a threat. This is a threat, a veiled threat. It's a trash threat because we already know they can't go nowhere. It's not up to them. Dear black women, if you could have left, you would have left already. If black women, if you could have left, you would have left already. That's why y'all was celebrating Loving versus Virginia, 1967. If you could have left, you would have left already. Here's the kicker: you can't leave. That's why you're not gone. It's not up to you. It's up to those Latino men, white men, Asian men. Pff, it's not a thing. Indigenous men, it's not a thing over there either. Raj, it's a whole lot of talking. Black women have the lowest marriage rate, highest divorce rate, lowest interracial marriage rate because they refuse to get on black men's program. And they said for them to get on Black Men's program, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, unless you're super attractive. Then maybe, possibly, they still ain't going to get on your program. Stop it. And so suffer the consequences. We're looking for partners. We're not looking for partners. Huh? Oh, it gets worse, y'all. This is the funniest part right here. Oh, this is the funny part. Mr. Shannon says, you're looking for a woman to submit to you. Will you submit to her? Well, he says, will you submit to her? Wait a minute. What? He says, will you submit to her? Wait a minute. When I'm supposed to submit to someone that I'm supposed to literally give my life for? Either work myself to death for, or literally give my life for when something goes bump in the night downstairs. I'm supposed to submit to her. Wait a minute. Wait, what? I'm supposed to earn more. I'm supposed to sacrifice more. I'm supposed to drive the crappier car for. Right? I'm supposed to do all of that and submit to her? Oh boy, it's great that y'all are actually saying it. Huh? It's great that y'all actually saying it. And once again, Raj, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. It's great. Y'all looking for these women to submit to you. Will you submit to her? What? Submit to who? Right? So this sounds like patriarchy partnership talk. Z, you came up with a new phrase? Yes. Partnership patriarchy. What's partnership patriarchy, Z? It's just another way of saying patriarchy by feminine specifications. Partnership patriarchy is I'm looking for a partnership, but a man that pays all the bills. I'm looking for a partnership, but I still want him to provide and protect. But we're partners. You looking for a woman to submit to? Will you submit to her? What type of partnership patriarchy? Patriarchy by feminine specifications crap are you talking? Huh? I'm supposed to submit to the person that wait a minute. These women said no struggle love. These women said they want to practice hypergamy. So I'm supposed to earn more, pay more, die earlier, and submit. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, remember now, we're in the 21st century. They talking about emotionally intelligent, right? They're saying you got to be likable, and you're supposed to submit, and pay more, and earn more, right? And be willing to put your life on the line, and you're supposed to submit. Oh, look, this partnership patriarchy y'all trying to impose on men, they're not going. Forget black men. Find me the man that's signing up for this. You're going to submit to the person that you're supposed to do more for. Whether it's 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100, you paying everything. Everything, everything. Shout out to Cat Williams. Feminism by, patriarchy by feminine specifications, partnership patriarchy. Put it in the book. This is partnership patriarchy talk. Lion, I gotta skip your comment real quick because Ross says, and thank you for the super chat. Ross says, "Bless their hearts, Z. Bless their hearts." Ross, yo, this is partnership patriarchy, huh? Bizarro Terrence J over here telling us about partnership patriarchy. You want these women to submit to you? Are you going to submit to her? Submit to what? Lion, where's that comment that you put up? Where did that comment go? Wait a minute. Goddamn. Lion said it earlier. He said, no, we submit to God. Women submit to us. Where did that comment go? Jesus Christ, I'm looking for it. Wait a minute. There we go. And Lion says, men submit to God, not to the women. Exactly. Thank you, Lion. It's fair anarchy. Oh, man. And a split Jim says, who are these Negroes? Tommy Davidson, right? TK Kirkland said, who raised you? Wow. And Ross, once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right? And Lion says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe to the super chat. Lion says, and black women, the only women who have more kids than the men of their race, true, deserve a their own race, deserve a black man with no kids. Please explain. But so, and I'm glad you actually brought that up. I forgot to mention that also. Black men are also the one group of men that are the most likely to marry single mothers. Black women are the one group of women who have more children than their male counterparts, right? So, once again, white men have more children than white women. Latino men have more children than Latinas. I'm not so sure about Asians. I don't remember if they calculated. But black women have more children than black men. Huh? Remember now, Mr. Shannon told you, first, you're not deserving of a woman with low body count. Secondly, he asked you if you're going to submit to her. I'm already taking care of her and a child from another man. Submit to who? Huh? You already told me I'm not deserving of a woman with a low body count. Society is telling me I'm gonna take her with a child or two from one or two different men, and I'm supposed to submit. uh, yeah, that's it. Huh? And to you, I say, with your fake Christian talk, once again, this brother got one foot in Christianity and one foot in secularism, and it's a really ugly form of secularism. Tell black women to go get it from white men. Uh-oh. Tell them to go get the white man to submit. Huh? Because newlywed black men told black women to read their Nikes. So the brother continues. See, you called him a brother. I said it. He says he calls us devils. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we going all the way there. Mr. Shannon calls black men in the black manosphere devils. Oh, yeah, we're all the way there now. You're right. I would be calling black men devils because black men refuse to subsidize insufferable, mean, snarky, high body count black women. You right. I would be calling black men devils too because black men don't know their place. Huh? Oh yeah, he calls black men devils. Black men in the black manosphere devils. You right. Black men in the black manosphere are devils because we don't know our place. beneath black women, behind, and not in the giggity way too, behind black women. You're right, we are devils because we don't know our place. Huh? Kissing black women's ass. You're right. I would be calling us devils too if I believed what you believed. Black men are devils. Black men in the black manosphere are devils. How dare we tell black men there's other ways? How dare we don't tell young black men to bow down to black women? You're right, we are devils because we don't intellectualize our anti-black misandry. Huh? You're right, we are devils. Right? How dare we not tell black men it's your job to provide, protect, and shut up? I would be calling us devils too if I subscribe to what you subscribe to. You right? And Lion says, "Word, where's my pitchfork?" Oh yeah, no, he called us devils. While talking about these women being equally yoked, they're looking for men that they're equally yoked to. Black men earn more than black women. Black women got more college degrees. It means nothing. Black men earn more than black women. Black men have more wealth than black women. Right? God damn, I should have emailed you, compassionate. And compassionate, shout out to compassionate and callous. I should have emailed you so I could have had you on the ones and twos, and then I could have had you um no wait, who said okay. All right, yeah, run you throw me off. Goddamn. Okay. Right. I should have emailed you compassionate. I should have emailed you. Right. And he said, "Damn, what I missed. I could have had your help for the first 20 minutes of what I'm reviewing, but it's cool. If anything, I will maybe do a part two to this. If anything, right? And y'all give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all gives you 1 second. And then we're back. I had to check that message. Had to check that message. Okay, man. Hey, this is the best that you can do, Mr. Shannon. This is your best rendition of Derek Jackson. This is your best. This is why my title is, for those of you that are a little bit late, shout out to you, compassionate. Compassion over here, fashionably late. Um, the title of my video is speaking to this young brother who is doing his best rendition of Derek Jackson, right? He's doing his best rendition of Derek Jackson, and he's trying to fill this kind of vacuum that Derek Jackson has left ever since he's been exposed. And there's a number of these people, right? There's a number of them. And so I'm reviewing about the first 20 minutes or so. Now, reviewing his first 20 minutes, we're already approaching an hour and a half because y'all know Z and his long-windedness. His long-windedness. There we go. Right? Shout out to Black Ruin Light Skin. Right? So it's taking me about an hour and a half or so, probably going to take a little bit longer than that, to review just the first 20 minutes because he said a lot. He didn't say much, but he said a lot. Right? And he, checked off all of the black female tropes that they levy at black men, that they hit black men upside the head with, or try to. Meanwhile, you're, once again, newlywed black men, 25% marrying outside of the black race, the black community. Now what? Right? So Mr. Shannon says black men, the black manosphere is full, we're devils. We're devils. Oh boy. And as I said before, I would be calling us devils too if I subscribe to your worldview. I would be. Because how dare black men not play their goddamn role? Provide, protect, and shut up, right? You right. So, and he continues to get real close to that Cynthia G abort black male babies talk, delete unborn black babies talk, male babies, excuse me. He gets real close to that. And he does that a couple of times within the first 20 minutes. Remember, this is a 3 hour and some odd long stream. I'm only talking about the first 20 minutes. He said all of that, all of what Mr. Z is covering. This is just the first 20 minutes, right? Wow. So at the about 19-minute and 30-second mark, and this is a good way. We're in a good place now. We're in a good place. Around 19 minutes 30 seconds, Mr. Shannon says, once again, this is Bizarro Terrence J. And for those of you too young, some of you Gen Z, Terrence J was a host of 106 in Park, and like the second iteration of 106 in Park, right? He was one of the male hosts. Well, he was the male host. So once again, around the 19 minute and 30-second mark, Mr. Shannon essentially says, keep black women's name out of your mouth and move on if you think black women are that bad. Z, are you still there? Why are you so quiet? Sir. Black men have already done that. Check that newlywed interracial marriage rate if you doubt Z. Keep black women's name out your mouth. Gen Z already doing that. Young millennials already doing that. That's the problem. You forgot? Sir, your job was to shame black men into staying and paying and shutting up. Stop calling these young black men's bluff. I would argue stop calling any black man's bluff, but okay, fine. You said keep black women's name out your mouth and move along. Move on. They're already doing that. That's why your daughters are crying in their cars. You forgot? That's why we're talking about who killed the club. Who killed the club? And that's women writ large talking about who killed the club. Yeah, the women killed the club, right? LSXT says, Z, we know what 106 in Park is. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Just in case, Mrs. Z got to cover all his bases. Right? Huh. Keep black women's name out of your mouth. Once again, 25% of newlywed black men marry non-black women. That's as of 2017. Mr. Shannon goes on to speak about Bizarro Terrence J. Goes on to speak about how no black men would be here if it weren't for black women. Now we get into the good stuff. Oh, now we get into the good stuff. No black men, and this is a great time to read Vince's comment. No black men would be here if it weren't for black women. Let's pause on that real quick. And Vince's, and Mr. Z, you're not going to read Roger's comment? Shout out to Roger. Roger, no, I'm not reading it, right? Shout out to the Roger report. And this is a good time to read Vince's comment. And Vince's, you Negroes trying to free the slaves? Fine. And exactly. And that fits perfectly with what Mr. Shannon says, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to keep, talking about religion, trying to keep my religion, trying to keep my religion. It's hard. It's hard. Oh, I didn't. Okay, okay, oh, okay. All right, correction. All right, Raj, I got it. Right, and got a little thrown off. I'm sorry about that, y'all. So this idea of that Vince is talking about, right? And once again, Vince, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Whenever we get into the conversation, particularly in the black community, about black women's misbehavior, it's always someone who's going to mention, always, that if it wasn't for black women, we wouldn't be here. In other words, and this is why I highlighted Vince's comment earlier, you men are slaves to black women because black women birthed you. Black women are never wrong because black women birthed you. Black women are never on the wrong side of history because black women birthed you. Black women can misbehave as much as they want. In fact, it's not really misbehavior because black women birth you. You need to find another way of seeing this because black women birth you. Shout out to a nameless protagonist. We're worshiping the portal. The portal is infallible because it's the portal. What Bizarro Terrence J is saying is, A, everything you saying is sexist and misogynistic and misogynoirist because you're not worshiping the portal. You are slaves, once again, as Vince said, you are slaves to the portal, and you black manosphere Negroes are trying to free the slaves. Right? No, Raj, I didn't skip it. I thought you were telling me to skip it. That's what I thought. Right? And the Roger report says, okay. And you talking about the Canadian brother, or you might be talking about this brother here. And he said, so he's same sex loving, guy worried about vagina. Do he can't get no peen to take him seriously either. Ooh, I get it. They have the same problem. Look, I don't know if this brother is same sex loving. I'll say that. That's why I didn't say anything. There's no accusatory tone from me or any of that. I just call him that. My little ad hominem attack is Bizarro Terrence J. That's my little attack, right? I don't know if he's same sex loving. Hey, the mannerisms are a little weird, a little off, but okay, cool, right? I ain't gonna say all of that, but no pun intended. I can't even say it again because I usually say it twice. I can't even say it again. With that said, there we go. With that said, I haven't really followed this brother before. I listened to this. I'm gonna check out a couple more videos and field pieces, and we will see if that's really the vibe he's given throughout. Right. So shout out to Raj. He might be. He might be. Right. Either way, as I said before, the theme of tonight's video, none of what he's saying means anything, Raj. This is the issue, Raj. None of what he's saying means anything if he can't get black women married off. If you can't get a significant number of black women married off, none of what you say means anything. All of the panderers, whether they're women, whether they're men, whether they're straight, whether they're LGBTQ, whether they're politically to the left, politically to the right, whether they're somewhere centrist, none of it means anything. Whether they're black women in luxury, black women level up, divestors, swirlers, whether they're black feminists, With the Christian feminists, none of it means anything if you can't get some type of to marry black women. Whether it's an individual black man marrying individual black women, whether it's an individual white man marrying individual black woman, whether it's an individual Latino man marrying the individual black woman, whether it's an Asian, it's not a real thing. Indigenous, it's not a real thing. None of what he says mean anything, right? None of it means anything if you can't get black women married off. Once again, single black women have the least amount of wealth in America. Single childless black women. Right? So Buddy Rowe could be same-sex loving. He could have the same issue as black women. He's out here calling black men devils. Cool. I'll take it. You calling black men devils? Cool. And I would be calling black men in the black manosphere devils also if I subscribe to your worldview. That black men should be providing, protecting, and shutting up because black women give birth to them. So your payment, because your mother has you, your repayment to a random black woman is that you marry her and you provide, protect, and shut up for her because your black mother had you. It's not some Oedipus thing where you marry your black mother. I don't even know how they're supposed to work. But the way you pay homage to your black mother is to turn around and marry a black woman and then provide, protect, and shut up. Huh? Oh, Mr. Z, you forgot. And submit. Huh? And submit. And once again, Raj, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Whenever you let the conversation go far enough, and this is why I said you could tell he's a supporter of Cynthia G. Not only did he mention her name, and he had to reel back, pretty much saying, "You know what? She had a point, bro. We saw where you were going. You reeled yourself back. Fine. That's why your sons are marrying out at 25% for the ones of them that are getting married. Once again, we're not even mentioning the ones that have sworn off black women and they've been dating Latinas, or they're in a relationship with a Latina or a white woman and they've been in that relationship for 10 and 15 years, or they've been dating out for 10 and 15 years. We're not even talking about those. Huh? So if this is what the black community has to offer young black men, do you not see where the problem is, Mr. Shannon? Huh? Your rhetoric is what the black community has to offer young black men. And once again, you think we're leading black men astray? You think the black manosphere is leading young black men astray? No wonder you said, I don't know what to do about this. Of course you don't. Because what you know how to do is sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right, which you got from black women. Oops. And the answer to you and to the black women that engage in sign language as a shaming tactic to keep black men in the black community instead of, doing right by black men. And the answer that newlywed black men are showing you at 25%, once again, that was 2017 numbers, is read my Nikes. They're not talking. I'm a millennial. I'm talking. I'm an older millennial on top of that. I'm talking. Young millennials and Gen Z, they're not talking. Those young black men are not talking. Their response to their wayward mothers and aunts and grandmas and girl cousins and sisters, their response to them is quietness. Is that a word, Z? I don't know. It's quiet. It's silence. It's indifference. Their response to their mothers and their aunts and their grandmothers and their girl cousins and their female siblings' behavior is popping up to the family event with a Latina or a white girl. Huh? Huh? And Compassionate says, a week ago we were incel morons no one pays attention to. Now we're leading the youth astray. Okay, bro. He said it though. He really did say the black men astray. Men like us are leading young black men astray. He literally said young black men astray. It's not these young black men's experiences that are leading them astray. Huh? It's not their experiences that are leading them astray. It's men like Z. Let me read this one now. Raj, you got me. Look, Raj got me all over the place right now. And the Raj report says, and I didn't forget about your electrician 480. And the Raj report says, my bad. I thought you said he was batting for the other team. I will strike that last super chat from the record. So I should. That's what I was saying earlier. Okay. Right. I will strike that last super chat from the record. You're right though. I stand by my words and black women's marriage rate. Right. Oh man. And I guess I might as well read a Split Jim super chat right now too. And Split Jim, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And the Split Jim says, "LOL, his name is Controversial Shannon, but trying to buck break black men is status quo, mainstream and daily reoccurrence." Yes, yeah. Actually, that's you know what. Split Jim, I like what you did right there. I like what you because what he's engaging in is not actually controversial whatsoever. I actually like what you just did right there. Right. You're absolutely right. What he is engaging in, Mr. Z, get your words right. What Mr. Shannon is engaging in is not controversial at all. It's pretty standard issue, right? It's pretty This is about as standard issue as you get, right? Huh? Saint Cyr says nothing is wrong with the women. You know this. You're right. He did say where's the let's go back through the notes. Wait a minute. Where's that comment? For those of you that missed it, around the 16-minute mark, Mr. Shannon says there's nothing wrong with the dating market. You just don't qualify for the women you're looking for, right? So going to what you just said, Saint Cyr, as you said, nothing is wrong with the women, right? You know this. So that's what he said. Nothing's wrong with the dating market. You just don't qualify for the women you're looking for. And my response to him was, cool. And that's why 25% of newlywed black men are marrying outside of the race. I see what you did there. You took Kevin Samuels and you flipped it on its head and you directed it to black men. Cool. I'll take it. Fine. There's nothing wrong with the dating market. That's why your young ladies are calling into what's her name? Ashley Dalton. That's why your young ladies are calling into Kendra G. That's why your young ladies were calling into Kevin Samuels night after night after night. That's why y'all were begging them to stop calling into Kevin Samuels, and they were still calling into Kevin. Rest in peace. Y'all were begging them to stop calling, and they would rather take the lottery chance that somebody finds them attractive enough and hit them up in the DMs. They'd rather go on there and embarrass themselves trying to appeal to black men. They were not appealing to black men. Then listen to y'all. Y'all were begging them to stop. Ain't that right, Chrissy? Huh? So split gym, you right. It's not controversial what he's engaging in. It's pretty damn standard issue. It was pretty damn standard issue. And once again, a split gym, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And the Raj Report, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. No, I am not saying the brother is LGBTQ, got certain mannerisms and whatnot, but Bizarro Terrence J is from, I'm not saying that he is. It's possible, but I'm not saying that he is. Right? Huh. Charles, if you want to review this, you can review the first 20 minutes. Charles, if you want to review the second 20 minutes, go ahead and review it. Right? And Charles, we got Charles Faulkner in here. Shout out to Charles Faulkner Jr. So we got a man that's literally encouraging black men to be the garbage men of the dating scene. Dude told us we're not deserving of women with low body counts. He told us, why don't we submit to black women, to women? Yeah, he said it. All type of foolishness. He's encouraging us to be the garbage men of the dating world. Huh? Dude said we don't qualify for the women we're looking for. There's nothing wrong with the dating scene. Compassionate said, "We not supposed to be this good at rhetoric, Z. They at the point where they begging us to stop talking. Look, what they would have to do is go back in time and make sure Mr. Z doesn't, Senior Z doesn't end up meeting Miss Mama Z, so Papa Z doesn't end up meeting Mama Z. And yeah, and I wasn't a product of that. That's what they would have to do. They would have to go back to '86 and make sure that don't happen." Right? They would have to make sure that Obsidian's parents don't meet, and the Raj Report's parents don't meet, and BGS's parents don't meet. That's what they would have to do. And the Nameless Protagonist parents don't meet, right? And Angry Man parents don't meet. Rest in peace. And Kevin Samuels' parents didn't meet. And Compassionate Callous parents didn't meet. And Charles Faulkner Jr. parents didn't meet. That's what they would have to do. Right? Unfortunately for them, we're here. Well, well, huh? Lord Luxman says he will be exposed like all the recent simps. Buddy Ray I get him. He's trying to fill the vacuum, no pun intended, that Derek Jackson left. I hear him. Still think it's going to fail, but fine, right? I hear him. These people are the worst. First 20-minute monologue, and he admitted it. Where's that damn? No, wait, y'all give Z 1 second. Let me wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where is it? Yeah, he said it. He doesn't even know how to stop this. He said it. He said he doesn't know how to stop this, and the young men don't sound like this. It's really men, some men in their 30s, such as Z, and men in their 40s, and it's really men in their 40s plus. You said you didn't know how to stop it because once again, all you know how to engage in is sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. You got that from black women. Of course, you don't know how to stop this. That's number one. Number two, you said young men are not engaging in this. You're right. Young black men aren't engaging in this. They're marrying out. They're dating out. You're right. Me and you are in agreement with that. Your words, right? Your words. An electrician, Z, get it out. Electrician 480 says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. He says, get him, Z. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm trying, right? Man. Compassionate says you got the whole divestment sector hate watching low key. I don't think so. I don't think it's that. I don't think I'm that. I don't think I'm that far up. right? I don't think I'm that far up. That'd be crazy if I ever found out. Because the only one we know for sure, and even with that, I think she only listens when I tag her name or when I tag the video, is Chrissy. We know FD listens in occasionally, maybe, but that once again, that's not divestment per se. Um, so that's two confirmation. Real talk with Yanni, I don't know, right? But yeah, maybe. But if they're listening, I hope they're taking something from this. I'm not just talking to be talking. I said this before. If you and this is actually a great time to say this. If you're not just pandering or trying to give black women some feel good, right? Something to feel. You're a black man who's regurgitating black women's effery and how they feel and think. If you actually cared about black love, Mr. Shannon, if you actually cared about black love, watch this. You would tell black women to get on black men's program. Ooh, goddamn. I meant that, by the way. If you actually cared about black love, your words. You want to talk about black love? Fine. If you actually cared about black love, I didn't say anything about partnership. No, not partnership patriarchy, not feminocracy, right? Not patriarchy by feminist specifications. No, if you're actually talking about black love, you tell black women to get on black men's program. Are you going to submit to her? Anyway, brother, if you actually care about black love, you tell black women to get on black men's program. Michelle Obama got to sit in the White House because she was on a black man's program. Remember, she wanted to divorce Barack at one point. Her mother told her to stay, and she got to sit in the White House. Michelle Obama could walk into the White House right now and be president of the United States of America because she was a black man's wife. As much as I have my issues with Barack Obama, huh? There will be no black love if black women don't get on black men's program. It's that simple. We're not doing this partnership patriarchy. We're not doing this feminarchy. We're not doing this patriarchy by feminist specifications. We're not doing it. Z, are you saying you're not doing partnership? Yes, that's what we're saying. Huh? Say it. And Telescope says, rage. um, what happens when everyone's favorite whipping boy leaves the room and quietly closes the door behind him? You get the shaming tactics that Mr. Shannon's trying to engage in now. That's what you get. Huh? You get Kim Foster trying to do a really slick begging white society to come and regulate passport bros. That's what you get. Huh? You get FD Signifier attempting to get black men cool with being community eunuchs. That's what you get. Huh? That's what you get. You get the brother, the host of the news shows in Texas. You get him trying to shame Austin Hollerman. And then coming back, was it even a year later? Speaking about how horrible the dating scene is, and shout out to Passport OG. Speaking about how horrible the dating scene is in Houston. Was it even a year later? Maybe a little over a year? Uh-oh. And shout out to Passport OG. I saw that. Well, I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm about to go. I'll go back and watch the whole thing. Huh? So when black men quietly close the door behind them, unlike our fathers and grandfathers who went to go get milk and never came back, they weren't trying to leave the kids. They definitely was trying to leave that woman, though. Charles says 6 months later, right? Huh? When black men close the door behind them, Gen Z and millennial marriageable age black men, newlyweds, marry out at 25%. That's what happens. They got your daughters out here crying in their cars. They got your daughters out here pretending to be okay being the single cat ladies. Talking about they're gonna be the rich auntie. Yeah, right. Barely making it auntie. I auntie. Huh? When black men quietly close the door behind them, you have black men, like I said, marrying out. You have black men being passport bros. You have black men practicing SYSBM. When black men quietly close the door behind them, you have black women calling into Ashley Dalton and Kendra G. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. That's what you have. When black men quietly close the door behind them, as I said earlier, you have Mr. Shannon over here, controversial Shannon, trying to shame black men. Huh? Vincent, check to check auntie, hysterical. LSXT says, I got struggling aunties if you count that. If that count. Yeah, it counts. Huh? Wow. And I guess this is a good time to read this. And Electrician 480 says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Electrician 480 says, the term of the day is shock and awe. Not the bonding campaign, shock and awe. Okay, and he says shock and awe. The shocking part of this is black women here in America can easily be replaced by another woman of different nationalities, which you just mentioned, and those numbers will go up real soon. They're going up. They're going up. Huh? That's the thing. They're going up. See, black women don't realize they have the best men on the planet. Dear black women, you have the best men on the planet. Black women keep on trying to convince themselves otherwise. Whoop! That marriage rate for black women is what? Ooh, goddamn. Well, see, when they say another man's trash, one man's trash is another man's treasure, black women have convinced themselves that black men are trash, and that white girl that's waxing poetic with them on all this feminist crap is turning around and letting Jermaine pogo stick up and down her esophagus. Uh-oh. While Cynthia G is speaking about deleting unborn black male fetuses, the white girls and the Latinas and even some of the Asians are saying, I'll have his baby. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? Check that interracial marriage rate if you doubt me. The South Asian women and the East Asian women and the Latina women and the white women said, I'll do it. Huh? Now what? Huh? So black women, you really don't got a choice but to get on black men's program. Actually, Z, you said that wrong. You said that wrong, Z. They do have choices. They have the rose toy choice. They got the same sex loving choice. Love is love. You can't help who you love. Okay. They have the um carousel for non-black men choice. They got choices, Z. They got choices. Exactly. And compassionate says, white girl snaps fingers. Yes, girl. White women rule the world. Quietly texts Jermaine, right? Text Jermaine low key, exactly. Huh? Mike says they keep announcing the end of the Black Manosphere every few months, never fails. Yawn. Exactly. Exactly. Huh. Huh? And Saint Cyr says South Asians too, and he put in the drooling emoji. Bro, them South Asian women are saying, I will go through it with my family to end up with this black man. Them South Asian families be anti-black as a mug. Those South Asian women all through Pennsylvania and whatnot, right? All through that area, all through. So I think what some of them are in Maryland with you, right, Charles? All in New York, even some of the, I'm not saying all, I'm not saying most, I'm not saying it's a significant number, but yeah, some of them South Asian women said, yeah, I'm willing to go through it with my father and the women in my family because them Indian women be some cackling ass hens as a mug, huh? And those South Asian women said, yeah, I'll do it, huh? Well, now how many South Asian men are ending up with black women? Uh-oh. How many East Asian women are ending up, excuse me, how many East Asian men are ending up with black women? Huh? What's his name again? Gary Owens. What did Gary Owens tell Asian dude? What's the other comedian? What's his name? A lot of y'all women are having sex with black men, and that's not even how he said it too. Imagine a white man looking a Asian man in the face and saying, "A lot of y'all women is giving it up to black men." And what did the Asian man respond with? Yeah, the exchange ratio is not good. It's not the other way around. Whoopsie. Huh? Now what? Huh? Now what? As I said before, if you want to speak about black love, Mr. Shannon, the best way through black love is on a black man's program. You want black women to do well? Get on a black man's program. Or you could be, well, once again, single and childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. You could do that. Huh? Telescope, I ain't even gonna read that out loud. Hysterical. She do got a cackle. Oh man. That's hysterical. Huh? If you care about black love, then tell black women to get on black men's program. It's not up for negotiation. The days of negotiation are done. Huh? Now, Mr. Z will say negotiation here and there. I'm still gonna say it, but it's really not no negotiation. How we say it in Florida? We ain't negotiating, bitch. It's BIH for those of you that don't know. And we say beer for like everything. Like everything. A1 steak sauce. I put that on everything. Huh? Ain't no negotiation. You might get some cooperation, but ain't no negotiation. Oh man. And once again, electrician 480, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right? And Vince says, and thank you for the super chat. I want to read this one now because it's funny. And Vince says, I know I will be with a black woman, just not a bad built in US. Right? And all hey, just get on Black Men's program. That's what I'm saying. Just get on Black Men's program. And Saint Cyr says, Fagsy, bit is a person, place, or thing here, not curse word. Exactly. In Florida, especially South Florida, yeah, bit, BIH, yeah, that's just it's everything. As I said, A1 steak sauce, we put that thing on everything. Right? Vince is some variation of black women, right? Going to what he said in the super chat. So on that note, y'all, I would say to Mr. Shannon, right? Controversial Shannon. Shout out to Split Jim. That was a G. Who was it that said that? Was it you, the Split Jim? Yeah. Um, it's not really controversial. What he did here was standard issue. This is standard issue. This is standard operating procedure, right? So it's not controversial. So once again, to Mr. Controversial Shannon, black women's best chance to the middle class and above is to get on black men's program. There is no submitting to black women. Stop. There is no partner patriarchy, patriarchy partnership. There is no feminarchy. There is no patriarchy by feminine specifications. You get on black men's program or you do whatever other thing you think you need to do. Same-sex loving relationships with probably a black woman. Them white women, Latinas, and Asians ain't checking for y'all like that. They even worse than the men. Huh? You could do the same-sex loving relationship thing. You could try your hand at interracial relationships with heterosexual men of other races. Let me know how that works. Or shout out to Real Talk with Yanni. You could do the rose toy thing and frack your clit to death. Right? Oh man. And St. Cyr says, y'all use green and flaw in South Florida 2Z? Yes. Right? Yeah. I don't really use it, but yes, they use it. Yeah. We use it down here. Green, not so much. Um, and flaw. And so people are used to hearing you're green, which is like you're wet behind the ears. In other words, you're naive. You're new to the game, you're new to the scene, you're green to the game. In South Florida, or I guess in Florida, but St. Cyr is saying they use it where he is too. We use green that same way too, but we use green also to say that's messed up, right? That's green, that's messed up. That's damn, that's messed up what you did to that person. Or we say that, and flaw is just you're messed up, right? So that's green is a way of saying what you did was messed up, and your flaw is saying you're messed up. So And Saint Cyr could correct me if I'm wrong, right? So yeah, but yeah, and Vince, yeah. So and we don't, over here we want black men to just win. We want black men to not be treated so horribly by black women. We want black men to not be given black women's ass to kiss because black women are angry at the world that they're not politically and socially upper middle class and rich white women. And so they sit to hell with the world and they want to burn the whole world down because once again they can't be politically and socially white women because white men won't let them be. And so they take it off on everyone, but mainly black men. Right? Duval. Shout out to Duval County, Jacksonville. Right? So to Mr. Shannon, I say, nice pandering, nice attempt at Derrick Jackson, nice try, trying to, fill the void here, right? Power vacuum, I hear you. No pun intended on any of this, by the way. But nah, nope. Nice try, nope. Right? Absolutely not. Failed. And that's why my title is what it is. Failed. Will you do some numbers? You'll do some numbers, but failed. A failed attempt at filling a power vacuum. A failed attempt at filling the power vacuum. I said what I said. And I definitely want to make sure we end out on this. I've said it maybe a dozen times tonight. This was the theme. And the theme, once again, if you, any one of you, it doesn't matter the angle you come at this with. If you are attempting to pander to black women, if you are attempting to speak life into black women, if you are attempting to defend black women from wayward black men like Z, if that's the way you're framing it, if you are attempting to tell black women to expand their options, right? If you are attempting to shame, insult, guilt the need to be right black men to death, none of this means anything. According to the numbers, none of your rhetoric means anything if you cannot get black men to marry black women and pay for them. If you can't get white men to marry black women and pay for them. If you cannot get Latino men to marry black women and pay for them. If you cannot, we're not even going to mention the Asians, it's not a thing. Huh? If you cannot get black men to provide, protect, and shut up, or, as Mr. Shannon said, submit. If you cannot get black men to provide, protect, shut up, and submit to black women, then everything you are engaging in on social media, whether that's TikTok, whether that's YouTube, whether that's Instagram, whether that's Twitter X, everything you're engaging in is a waste, and all you're giving black women is sugar. That's it. Something for them not to cry themselves to sleep at night tonight. Lonely. And that's what you engaged in here, Mr. Shannon. Right? And the Roger Report says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. The Roger Report says they have a choice. They can stick to their goals, and we can watch them work until the day their heart finally gives out. Hey, passing away right in that cubicle. Well, the men are dying too. And oh goddamn, Z. Shout out to Leon. What did Leon say? I resign myself. I know I'm gonna work until I die. Huh? Leon said, I'm gonna put my son in the best position possible. I know I'm not gonna retire. I'm gonna work until I die. And Leon does, and when he says it, you don't hear not a single ounce of remorse or sadness or being somber about it. Huh? What did Jason Black say? Get your man, we're workhorses. How can men be so matter of fact about that? Because that's who we are. I didn't say we had to like it, we accept it. Huh? Thank you, compassionate. Plot twist. We're all socialized to be okay with men working until death. Now, what about the women? Ooh. Huh? Huh? I agree with Raj on this. You already see we covered the South Koreans. The South Korean government said we don't know what we're gonna do. These women never got married. They never had kids. We don't got the funds. And yet in America, social safety net getting thinner and thinner by the day. Xers and millennials and Gen Z said Social Security. What's that? We don't even know if we're gonna get it. We're probably not gonna get it. And if we do get it, it's gonna be even more reduced than it is now. So you're gonna be working, huh? And in that environment, Black women are saying, "Yeah, forget marriage, forget children. I'm gonna be the rich auntie. Rich auntie where? Huh? Rich auntie where?" Black Enterprise Institute told you these women got wealth of $3,300, 8% of white men's wealth. No, I'm sorry, said that wrong. 8 cents to the white man's dollar. Huh? That's a whole different conversation. And Compassion says, so we just gonna tolerate not getting Social Security, Z? Look, that's a that conversation right there. Um, yeah. Let's just say Black Uru says a quote, was it from Thomas Jefferson, I want to say, all the time. And that's the conversation we would have to have. Um, yeah, yeah. We would have to have the tree of liberty and what's gonna water it type of conversation. And I don't know if I want to go there tonight. Right? Nah, or if you said this wrong, Earth says she rich, she got a Maxima. No, she rich, she got an Ultima. Right? Remember the Maxima was more sporty, right? Looked better. Believe it or not, the Maxima was actually smaller than the Ultima. The last generation of the Maxima and the last generation of the Ultima and the generation before that of the Ultima and the Maxima was actually a bit smaller inside. It had more power. It was just, it was a bit more refined, a bit sportier, right? But it was less expensive. Well, I'm sorry, the Ultima was less expensive. Yeah. But back to Roger's comment. Yeah, Roger, the society is not. We're not socialized to watch these ladies go out that way. But we're gonna get socialized that way. You raise the boys, giving them your ass to kiss, and then you think those boys when we become men, when we're all in our not I'm not even saying 20s, in our 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s are supposed to have what for women? Uh-oh. And this is where Richard Reeves comes in and says it's a man's job to overproduce. That's what being a real man is. Huh? So, yeah. No, Raj, yeah, no, we gotta watch them give their heart go out. You're right. We're gonna watch their heart go out. Huh? GC says walk away, productive black men. I think a number of them already are. And the crazy. So we already spoke about the pincer move. It's a pincer move. Black women really screwed the pooch on this one. Z, you said screwed the pooch. I know. Z, you know you Haitian, right? I'm just saying. Asian women and white women taking black men and higher, better socioeconomic positions, and then Latina women and white women are taking more the working class and working poor black men. And now what? And Telescope says the Sentra with the gray primer quarter panel. No, Telescope. They got the Ultima or the Sentra or the Optima, Kia Optima, or the Sonata, or the what else? What else? The Elantra or the Corolla or the Camry or the Malibu or the Impala, the last 2, 3 generations of them, not the 90s um, Impala with the V8. They have all of those cars with the bumper flapping in the wind, um, and like you said, the primer front panel, and 3 out of the 4 hubcaps missing because they can't afford it. Oh yeah, the Dodge Neon, good one, Earth, or the Dodge Dart, right? And that's just the cars. We even talk about them SUVs they can't afford, right? Yep, because they can't afford it. They can't afford it. They driving around. Excuse me. They're driving dirty. They don't have car insurance, or they got that like car insurance that looks like car insurance on paper, but it's really not car insurance. They're not really covered, right? So they can't afford to fix the car when they get into a fender bender because they're doing hit and runs. Oops, which sounds a lot they life. That sounds like their life, right? Huh? And we'll pause right here. And the Rush report says, and thank you for the super chat. I've worked with or next to more than a few old retired black women. I could tell their lives were going. I'm sorry, I couldn't even finish. I couldn't even because I could see me doing it, like the air quotes. Okay, let's reread that. Let's reread that. Let's reread that. And the Raj report says, because I gotta say it with the tone now when I get to the word. Okay, here we go. And the Raj report says, I've worked with or next to more than a few retired black women. I could tell their lives were going, quote unquote, fantastic for them. Hashtag the grandkids ain't got it. This is I gotta read this one more time. And the Raj report says, and thank you for the super chat. The Raj report says, I've worked with or next to more than a few old retired is capital, for those of you listening, more than a few retired black women. I could tell their lives were going, quote unquote, fantastic for them. Hashtag The grandkids ain't got it. The Chevy Cruze is another one, Leon, too. And Raj, but the grandkids really don't got it, though. The grandkids really don't got it. That's a whole different conversation we can have about boomers, namely white boomers, destroying the economy for their children and grandchildren, right? And then even them, they didn't even reap all of the benefits of destroying hoarding all the money, and then still not really benefiting the way they should. Because really the people that's going to be living off of retirement are the oldest of white boomers that really had money like that. And everybody else got to suffer because of pretty much the top third of white boomers. Everybody else got to eat crap. Black boomers, working class white boomers, just about all Xers outside of like upper middle class and above rich white ones, maybe a couple of black and Latino and Asian, but really rich and upper middle class white Xers. Millennials as a generation are screwed unless they're getting it from their boomer grandparents, or excuse me, boomer parents. Gen Z, I'm sorry, Gen Z. I'm sorry to laugh in y'all face. Y'all don't got it. And y'all not gonna get it. Right? Gen Z will be living off of whatever they earn and whatever gets flicked off the table from their parents that their parents got from their silent generation parents. Maybe the oldest of boomer parents they had. Maybe. Right? So, yeah. I see you, compassionate. I see you, compassionate. Hashtag thanks, mom. Yeah. And I when yeah, because I think about and you know, compassion says, or divorcing and destroying the family's wealth. Hashtag thanks, mom. And I think about Army Ose Frimpong, shout out to the funky academic, who pretty much said like his mom divorced his dad just doing it, just because it was the thing to do, and everybody was doing it, so she did it. And like I think he said like she kind of regretted it later, but like yeah, she just did it because that was the thing to do, and there you go. Right? Saint Cyr says my parents are older Gen X. I'm cooked. Right? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Right? But how many of us are going to have wealth? Oh, yeah. Will you be able to be stable? Okay. It all depends on where you put your bar. What are you trying to achieve? If you're trying to achieve stability, yeah, maybe. But wealth, bro, we gotta get our careers going. Investments. Shout out to Alonzo, right? Be able to gamble money in the stock market, but once again, that's still dependent on how much money you have, disposable income you have to do that, right? So yeah. And Compassion says divorce literally set men back like 40 years. So in other words, if you do get divorced, make sure she's trying to divorce you by the age of, well, before 30 at least. So you gotta hurry up and get that early marriage in. When those women started calling them starter marriages, I promise you, Jesus Christ. So you gotta get your starter marriage so you can get divorced, so that you can hurry up and run up the bag, so that by 65, 70, so pretty much when you was gonna be retiring anyway, you would have made up for it. What the hell? Huh? What the hell? So you gotta hurry up and get your marriage in, hurry up and get married by 22, 23. That way she could divorce you by 27, 28, 30. And then you can hurry up and run for your life, try to make up for that by 65, 70, and boom, just before the door closes in your face, you're good. Nah, we can't do this, bro. This is impossible. This is impossible, right? Ah, man, man. And Ross says if the grandkids exist and through their dad and his dad, grandkids would have had it. Hey, the women said about your plans. That's why I said get on a black man's program. I know what I'm saying. You get on a black man's program. Your son, his wife get on his program. Your grandson, his wife get on his program. And guess what? They told you it takes about 3 generations. I'm not just talking to be talking. They told you it's 3 generations to build up wealth for real, for real. And women, black women won't even let you get out the first goddamn generation. Did you hear that, Mr. Shannon? Submit to her. Get out of here. Submit to who? With what credit score? Goddamn Z. Huh? Good point. Good point. And Compassion says, no, Z, stay on black man's program. That's the key. True. True. Right? And Compassion says, so basically run up the bag twice in one lifetime. Got it. Look, you got to get the starter marriage out the way. Let her destroy you emotionally, right? Destroy you financially, and then you got to turn around and do it again, right? And one of my coworkers says that. One of my older coworkers, he says that, oh, like, ain't nothing more heartbreaking than watching these men get ripped apart. They wife divorcing them in their 60s, in their late 50s, and he's not gonna be able to make that back up. Mr. Z's not saying this. My older coworker, who was correction, hit 6 figures multiple times in his life. He said that. Watching some of his coworkers, the wife is divorcing him in his 50s. He's retiring in 11 years, 10 years, 9 years, 8 years. And she filing for divorce now. Bruh, if the glove don't fit, I'm not even going to say nothing else. I'm not even trying to get my channel striked. Hey, I'll do it again, goddamn. No, let me stop. Let me stop. Right? There's a title of a movie. What was the title of that movie? What was the title of that movie again? Wait a minute. What was the wait. What? You know, I'm by the way, I'm just saying the title of the movie was called A Time to Kill. That's what the title of the movie was. That was the title of the movie. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. The title of the movie was called A Time to Kill. That's what it was called. I'm just saying that was the title of the movie. Once again, Mr. Z is just saying the title of the movie was called A Time to Kill. That's what it was called. I'm just saying. All right. That's what the title of the movie was called. That's what it was called. I'm just saying. Right? Man, good point. And the Raj report says if he said submit to black women, is it safe to assume that he already submitted to black women? I'm just asking. Yeah, he's shame, insult, guilt, a need to be right to black men. Of course, he submitted to black women. He's using their tactics and strategies to come at black men in the black manosphere, and then literally saying, "Have you submit? Will you submit to black women? Are you serious? Or submit? Are you serious? Is this a real question?" Right? So yeah. Anyway, y'all, look, y'all got Z 2.5 hours. Look, freestyling. Um, no, I actually had notes for it, and we went through the notes, and that's great. Sometimes I really want to make sure I get certain points out. As we said, the theme of tonight is what now? The theme of tonight is nothing that any one of these people that are talking, all of these talking heads, whether their channel have 800 plus thousand subscribers like FD or 5,000 and some change like Mr. Shannon, controversial Shannon. That's his name. How controversial is he? Not really. None of it means anything if you cannot get black men to provide, protect, shut up, and according to you, submit. If you cannot get some type of man, whether he's black, white, Latino, it's not Asian, stop it. If you cannot get some type of man to pay for these women, black women, nothing y'all talking about means anything. Right? Charles said, I will submit to myself. I will submit myself. I, okay, I read this wrong. I will submit myself, I to a better choice. I will submit myself to a better choice. I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. And Compassion says, when you're doing the power memo, bro, the space need that on record. Um, let's shoot for it. I'll put it on record right now. Talk about that. Let's shoot for the weekend of the 12th. Let's shoot for that. Um, that Sunday maybe, or that Monday. As a matter of fact, because Roger's listening now, so I'm about to put my back against the wall. Raj, I could do Black Man's Fair Show of the Week that Sunday, that 13th. Shout out to the Roger Report. So yeah, let's shoot for that. Right. Let's shoot for that. And if somebody is adamant about that Sunday, then we could do that Monday. Then that's up to you, right? We're supposed to be talking about this behind the scenes, but anyway, yeah, yeah, y'all. And let me start getting all the materials needed now, and then timestamp and everything, and send it to you, and yeah, we'll make that work. And it's not. I don't even want to just do the Paul memo to tell you the truth. I want to do the Paul memo. I want to do that goddamn Citizens United, man. If we're gonna do that, because um, I think Raj has been doing a great job over the past couple weeks, especially with covering money and politics, and yeah. And if we just gonna if this is the season we in and that's the theme right now, then Citizens United, the Princeton study, the Paul memo for the Princeton study. For those of you that don't know, the Princeton study that pretty much said, regardless of who you vote for, the things that the majority of Americans agree on that we would like, if like the elite don't want it, it won't happen, right? So that's the Princeton study, and I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, that was pretty much the Princeton study. Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll make sure, because I just went over it again. There's things that I look up to see if there's any newer information. I look them up maybe once every few months, just to be like, oh, if there's new, But yeah, so yeah, the palm. All of these things go hand in hand, right? Yeah, and Clara Mate's book on how the oligarch. Well, did she say oligarchs? It was either aristocrats or oligarchs. How they weaponize the economy against working class folks. That includes the economists, right? And you could throw in there, like I mentioned the other day, the Fed chair that John Stewart put John Stewart, yes, for the what Daily Show. John Stewart put his back against the wall, and the former Fed chair pretty much admitted they know that when they use inflation um to regulate the economy, they screw over working class people, and they're literally knocking people out of the workforce. And like that's part of the goal, by the way, right? So yeah. So on that note, everyone, right? Y'all not gonna get Z to do 3 hours. Um, on that note, we will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Thank y'all for listening. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. Um, and yeah, go touch grass. So once again, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Um, thank you for listening. Shout out to Mr. Controversial Shannon, and y'all have a great, great rest of y'all night. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out.